listen, have you ever had somebody offend you so much that you're like, I have to do something about this? I can't believe that they did that to me, that they, how dare they do that? And you take on offense and you get offended that you have to do something and it has to stop. Have you ever been in that situation to where you've reached your wit's end of that and you've allowed that to fester? Listen, here's the deal, okay? Offense and getting offended does not help anyone. It only festers into bitterness that grows into the deep parts of our soul into a nasty monster by just repeating the offense over and over in our head. I've been going through some of Danny Silk's books recently. He's been blessing me a lot with them. And I realized that, you know, love is the only way to combat offense. Meaning that if we come from a position of love into every situation to where no matter what happens, love is what comes forth because we're coming out of that. We can't get offended. When we allow offense to happen, shows that we are not walking from that perspective of love and letting it get a foothold. And I love what Danny Silk said, which is why I'm just going to kind of quote him a little bit here. He said, care so much about not breaking the connection with somebody and not cutting them off, that you come from a place of love, honor, and humility, even in the face of something that would be offensive. He also says, be careful, though. Don't be passive, don't be aggressive, and don't be passive aggressive, but be assertive. And so what does that mean? That means coming from a position of love, honor, and humility, while not accepting the thing that might have offended you. And in fact, you care so much about the other person that you want to call them up to a higher level and not allow offense to fester inside of you. And that's hard. That can be hard in the moment. That can be very hard in the moment. And I'm saying this myself as somebody that has spent a lifetime getting offended at people, being offended by people not doing what they should, and realizing that actually this is something I need to take care of. It's not okay for me to constantly be offended by people. And so that's where the position of this video kind of came from this morning, is I wanted to share with you some thoughts. If you've ever been so offended so badly by somebody or what they do that you have to do something with it, do not allow hatred to take over. Do not allow you trying to defend yourself. You see, hatred, a lot of people think, is offensive. Offense is actually defense. Being offended. Being offended means you're on the defense, because their offense puts you on the defense. So when you are offended, you are on the defense, and the defense has the lower ground and is weaker, meaning you're dropping down and you actually lose your power. You are powerless in a state of being offended. Instead, we need to walk and talk and act and live as powerful people. Speak powerfully. Instead of saying, I can't because, say, I will do this or I won't do that. And taking ownership over the non-negotiables in your life, and then not allowing fear and intimidation to push you around and create offense. So what will happen is we have these non-negotiables that we've chosen. Maybe it's our spouse, maybe it's our kids, maybe it's our beliefs, our certain beliefs that we hold to, and we blame them for why we aren't where we want to be, and we get offended by the choices we made, and then we get offended by other people that are trying to just communicate and be a normal human, and we let this offense fester into bitterness, and it becomes that nasty monster I talked about. So if you get offended by somebody, if somebody has offended you, don't go toe-to-toe back to them. Don't combat back. that is not effective. That is actually lowering yourself from a powerful position to their level and giving them the power. Instead, take a step back. Have love, honor, humility. Love, honor, and humility, by the way, is not putting yourself underneath somebody and being powerless. Humility, honor, and love are actually the most powerful positions when done properly. Because what it's saying is that you actually can't hurt me. You can't offend me enough to lose my love, to lose my power, to let you take control of this situation, because I care so much about our connection and the outcome and what we're both vested into, that I will not allow offense and hatred to take over, but rather choosing to let everything come from a place of love, a place of connection, a place of honor for the other person, honoring their position, honoring maybe that you might be misunderstanding them, and being humble enough to ask for what you need. Ask and say, hey, listen, that made me feel this way. I need you to help me understand what you mean. And actually saying what you need and asking other people, what do they need? So when offense comes in as well, maybe you say, hey, what can I help you with? And in that, we don't allow offense to fester, and we communicate powerfully as powerful individuals that don't allow our emotions to take control and dictate the final outcome of our life, but we're actually designing and choosing and creating our life ourselves. We're not letting that person, that offense, create us. So what happens is offense actually mutates your life choices. Offense mutates you being authentically who you were created to be into this image of this offense that now is always on the defense, instead of walking towards what you were created for, towards your destiny, towards your calling. And the solution for that really is, love, honor, humility. And man, like I said, Danny Silk's 2 books. If you never checked them out, I'll leave the links in the description. Keep Your Love On by Danny Silk, and A Culture of Honor. Culture of Honor is not about what you would think it is by hearing that title. It's a book for leaders and everybody in organizations, as well as in family structures. Keep Your Love On is specifically in relationships, but applies in the outside, the way we have relationships with everybody. Because to be honest, we're living all in the same world with people. So Keep Your Love On and Culture of Honor applies to all human interactions and communications that we have. So that's why I love those books, particularly Keep Your Love On. I would start with that one. In fact, I listen in the other order. Keep Your Love On is the one everybody needs to listen to, and then to take it to the next level is Culture of Honor, if you want to talk about, more organizational based. Love those books. Come from a position of love, respect, honor, humility, and communicate and ask, how can I help you? And express your own needs as well. And don't allow offense to come in and fester and separate the connection between you and that other person just because of a misunderstanding. Be powerful. Communicate powerfully. Use powerful language and speak as a powerful person. And when you speak as a powerful person, you then walk as a powerful person. So good. Don't put yourself into situations where you will allow getting offended rule you. Instead, choose the emotion that you want to have. Choose the position. Is it going to come from offense, defense? Being offended is actually defense. It's not offense, like I said. Or is it coming from a position of love, honor, humility, realizing I don't know everything? Let's communicate. Let's have a conversation. Let's not assume what we think the other person meant, and talk together. And that will allow us to grow. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.